Right guys, back again from a little hiatus after a couple of races. Unfortunately, they didn't go to plan.
And we're back in transition here, and we're looking at Joe Skipper just hopping off the bike now. He is a fair ways down, so I'm not sure if he had some technical difficulties in the later stages of the bike, but he did lose a substantial amount of time. I'm not sure what happened there, whether he just ran out of fuel, ran out of energy, or had a technical.
First of all, Ironman Texas ended up going the wrong way on the bike, which kind of cost me the race really. Kind of cost me getting any kind of result from it. Added 10 kilometres in, but I'll go into a bit more than that later. And then 2 weeks after Texas, I had ITU World Long Distance Champs, which was my main race. So I was thinking with Texas, if that didn't go to plan, if I got a result in ITU World Long Distance, then that would be okay, because that was the one that I really wanted to do well in. Training and everything had been going really well leading into it. So I was pretty confident of a good result. But unfortunately in the race, I fell over at the start of the swim, which kind of cost me getting into a decent group. I almost got into the pack that got out 3.5 minutes down at the first buoy, which was 600-700 metres in. I was probably about 10-15 metres off. Should have really put a surge in, because I was on someone's feet at that point to close the gap, but I felt like he was swimming well and he might close the gap. So I didn't bother, which was a big mistake, because then the gap started getting a bit bigger, and then I left it too late because I did try and close it, but by that point the gap was 20 metres and I was never going to, so I ended up kind of leading the group round for a bit of it. Well, I stayed on him for a bit longer after that, and then went back and then led it towards the end for the last 600-700 metres and got a small gap getting out the water, but not that good a swim. I felt good in water, but just tactically with the fall over, put me on the back foot. The bike, actually pretty good, decent power. Rode similar to the big group that got out the water 3.5 minutes down. The couple of guys at the front rode a bit quicker. So I think had I had a good swim, I would have been in that group on the bike, I would have been with them, because I rode about the same by myself anyway. And that would have put me in the hunt for a good position on the run if I had my run legs with me. But that was the most disappointing bit for me on the day, was the run. Just had absolutely nothing in the tank. It was one of them days where you just feel like you just haven't got the ability to push hard. You know, you just feel fatigued. My legs didn't really feel nailed, but my body just didn't feel like it could go quick. I tried a couple of times to pick it up, but I just felt really flat. That's what I would probably describe it as. Nutrition was all good during the race, had a lot of carbs and everything, decent amount, similar to what I've done before. And I also felt quite sick on the run, like for the first 13 kilometres, and I couldn't take anything on the run for the first 13k, which didn't really matter anyway, because I quickly realised 3-4k in that I felt so bad that any chance of a result on the day was completely gone. So decided to tough it out. I really didn't want to pull out on the run just because you're having a bad day, because I think it's important sometimes to push on the bad days and remember how much they suck. So it motivates you in the future going forward. You know, not every day is sunshine and roses. You know, if you want to have the good days, you've got to remember the bad days for motivation. And that was probably the biggest lesson for me out there was, you know, it's great winning races, but you know, if you can win some races, but you're going to have to go through some of the bad days as well in order to make them highs enjoyable. So yeah, just toughed it out. Even though it wasn't going to plan, it would have been very easy to step off the course and say it wasn't my day. But you know, I thought I want to experience this, so it motivates me in my training, in my racing going forward.
What are you guys doing? Either 8 or 10 800s, I think.
Oh yeah,
something like that. I wouldn't mind doing 10 and trying to hit the same pace I did 8 for last time. That would be quite a good improvement.
Yeah.
Off like 90 seconds. We got off like 4-minute turnaround.
Oh yeah.
So every 4 minutes you start the next one.
Oh no, sick. That's really, really good. We like to, like, as races are coming up, just shorten that rest. Like, do like 800s with like 90.
Yeah.
And then by the time the like a race is coming up, get down to 45 seconds.
What, try and hold the same pace?
Yeah. And just like less rest. It's like bang, 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 bang. But I see you did training your dogs around the...
I do, yeah. I've got to watch out though, because they can be a right pain in the arse. So
have a good session, lad.
I'll do these 3 laps of this. Right. You ready?
I guess we'll find out.
Come on, Ted.
Well, as long as
Be a good boy.
I think you can look at everyone in this sport, all the people who you'd class as the top guys in the world, the GOATs, so to speak. No one's unbeatable. Everyone has bad days. Tell me someone in this sport, short course or long course, who's won every race they've gone into. Never going to happen. No one's won every race. So everyone doesn't win all the time and doesn't perform as well as they would like to all the time. So as long as you can learn and you can up your game next time and you can take lessons away, then it's not a wasted opportunity, so to speak. So yeah, I mean, it was very disappointing. It did really get me down, I'm not going to lie, especially for like the first 3 or 4 days after the race. You know, I was really, really gutted, I would say. I wouldn't say pissed off, I wasn't angry, I was just very disappointed, you know, because I knew the effort that I'd put in and felt like I'd kind of deserved or should have been able to get a better result. But I've put that behind me now. I've kind of moved on, put that as a, you know, drawn a line in the sand, and I've hit some good sessions this week. Did a 25-mile TT on Tuesday. It was my best ever 25-mile time trial. Best power, really good speed for the power as well, and a course record by 3.5 minutes. And then Wednesday did a really good run off the run in the evening. I did a 4-hour ride in the morning. In the evening, did a 90-minute run with 2 10Ks, 35-20 pace. And it felt quite smooth, comfortable, 6 out of 10 effort, so a nice tempo effort, and so I was really pleased with the pace and the effort for that session. So it looks like it's in a good position moving forward. I have also felt like if I had to say where one of my weaknesses at the moment is, I would say my threshold paces are really good, but I would say the ability to hold a high percentage of that for a longer period of time is where I would struggle more at the moment. So some of my training is going to be more geared towards holding a high percentage of the threshold pace for a longer period of time, which really help you in half distance and obviously the full distances as well.
So that was part of the warm-up. 3 laps, 100 metres fast, 100 metres walking. It's basically like strides, so you accelerate through the whole 100 metres and gets your legs turning over a lot quicker than what you planned on doing for the session, and also good for like speed, get a bit of top end speed in. So now the thought is when you start the session and you go back, for me I'm going to do 8 to 10 800s, minimum 8, same pace I was hitting before would be good. Ideally, if I'm feeling really good, do 10 at the same pace, and that would be a big improvement in what I have been doing, because basically 25% more work at the same intensity. And the thought is, after doing them hundreds, well, I've just been running 220, 230k pace. When I settle back now to a 3-minute k pace for them, it feels so much easier. And you're nicely warmed up, you've got the heart rate up a bit. So yeah, that's the thought. Dogs love it. That's their favourite part, the sprints. Got the new Rocket X2s, fresh pair. So you've got to be hitting good times if you're going to put new shoes on. Feels I did do the other sessions, what I've been doing on here, in an older pair of these, so it's not like I'm comparing times in non-carbon shoes to carbon shoes, because that would be a bit of a cheat. But it is still a bit of a cheat wearing the newer ones, but I do love the fact that you can smash a session with these and you get virtually no muscle soreness, which is ideal. I mean, ideally you want a shoe which is not quite as quick as this, but with similar cushioning, similar foam. So when you put these on, it does feel quicker. But the main thing is just that you just can run hard and you just don't get beaten up like you used to. So the next day you're fresher. Right, I'll give these some water before we start. Here you go. This one in.
They drink from the bottle.
Oh, I put it in my hand, like.
All right.
Here you go. Mate, what's this? Drink. Doesn't need eating, drinking's cheating. Come on, Ted.
Can you feel the they know I'm right. Baby, you're all that I
Classic.
want. When you
They know when the music comes on, it's about to get serious. That's why they're all lively.
You know, I was 22nd place, I was a mile behind, you know, miles behind, literally, not even figuratively. So, you know, dug in, got it done. At the end of the day, I can brush it off as a decent training day. It was a 30k run off a 120k bike, and with a swim tagged in there as well. Wasn't the result I hoped for, but you know, that's kind of what I'm looking to improve over the next 6 weeks to 8 weeks going into Challenge Roth. Also have entered another race in the meantime, Challenge Gerardsbergen on the 11th of June. So that will be a good opportunity to get a confidence booster in before Challenge Roth, and hopefully show what I can do from the training that I've seen myself.
How'd it go then, Joe?
Went pretty good. Didn't hit the same times I did for the 800s a few weeks ago. Well, probably about a month ago now. Actually, it was probably 6 weeks, I reckon. But it was fairly similar. I think probably averaged a second slower, maybe something like that for 10 of them. But it felt good. Like I could have pushed it a bit harder, but I just went at what felt like the right intensity. I reckon the average was probably 228, maybe something like that around here. Because there was a few that were slower, but then there was a 225, 226s and 227s. So I think it probably averaged out about 228. Slowest one was 231, which is the first. And then one of them, when Ted and Maisie were going mental after another dog, which I was having to shout. So kind of got a bit screwed over on them ones. On that second slow one. But yeah, it was pretty solid. Oh, Maisie, leave it! She's going to destroy the drone. Oi, come on, come here. Dog's just trying to kill my drone. Alright, so far it is 13k. So do 2.5k, so that would be 15.5k. And then got to head back because I've got to be at this parents thing. I did this course ages ago, this NCT course where they give you all tips about how to look after a baby and not kill them. And we're having a reunion, so we'll see all the babies together and all the parents now. Last time we all saw each other was about February time, before anyone had theirs, so be a nice little catch up. So the session was done an hour earlier, so that was probably why it felt a bit harder, because I always find it's harder doing something like this first thing in the morning, isn't it? But solid, and not every session has to be a PB, so that'll do. Another solid one in the bank. While I was actually warmed down, I remembered I did a session last week, 4 by mile, 4:52. I want to get a 5k done sometime on the track in next few weeks or something. If anyone's up for it, lives near Norwich, fancies it, on one evening or on a Saturday, let me know. Last time I did that session, 4 by mile, was 2020. I did exactly the same rest, and I was 5 to 6 seconds a mile average faster than what I did then, and I did 15:08. So I want to have a crack at breaking 15 just to tick the box, and I think I'm probably in 14:50 to 15-minute shape at the moment. So it'd be really good if a few guys are up for it. Also, rant of the day, what me and Mark were saying was, Ironman Lanzarote saying, are you excited that we've got Sam Laidlow and Cameron Worth going head to head and a load of other stuff? And it's like, well, we would be excited, but you're not bloody showing it on TV. It's like, how can you post stuff like that up? Like, are you excited about following this event and then no TV coverage? It's like Man United versus bloody Arsenal, isn't it? You know, Man United versus Man City. Are you excited that we're not showing this match? It's just like, you can't make this stuff up, can you, in our sport? Like, going on about how let's get people excited about these matchups, but no one can follow it, you know? Crazy. That's just my rant. Like, but
Rant
yeah,
of the day.
Rant of the day. There'll be, to be honest, there'll probably be plenty more rants as well. But session ticked off. Glad I got that one done. Feeling good. Ted's back in the game. He's actually been sleeping in an altitude tent now, so he's going to be fitter than a butcher's dog soon, aren't you, mate? 16:50 on a slow park run. He'll be doing 15:50 next time. Banned from park run, eh, mate?
Yeah.
Give us a high five. Come on. Come on, mate. Pour. Come on. Not having it.